annual gross we are getting for this employee for the month of January. Right. Here we have inserted a sub schema. So this rule and how it will change as of now. So this is the logic we have written, getting the projection and the /101 gross which we pushed from the previous PCR, and we are our calculation will go to this way step O GRS. So that will be the annual gross amount which is coming like this, right? Whatever the amount he had in the gross for the particular month, we are multiplying with 11 plus this amount, whatever. So this amount we are pushing here, and we are subtracting from his we are multiplying with 11. So we are getting the total annual gross, right? So now let us say annual gross, if it is this much, so we will calculate basing on the same slabs what we maintain. We will change the numbers or there in the slab code. If you remember, we maintained for monthly the tax slabs for 11P for country grouping 99. So these are the three slabs we maintained, assuming these will be the monthly things. If you want, you can create the new things, or I'm changing this. Let us say up to a lakh, it should be 0%. So if it is 1.5, right, it should be 10%. Above that, it can be anything, right? So what here we are going to do is, basing on this slab, we will calculate within the same PCR what we have written. What it will do, it will check the slab amounts as per our PCR, and we will get the percentage amount which is the annual tax, right? So what it will do, it will check the PCR what we are written earlier for monthly. That will check what is the slab. So if it is slab 2, what it is doing, it is taking the 10%, right? And it is calculating again. If you come to annual, say tax, so we have to create annual tax waste step. So what it will do, this annual gross into 10%, it should calculate. So this will be his annual gross, right? So this, if it was calculated, see, before writing PCRs, what we are going to do, I am telling what it should do. So it should be, if you divide with directly 12 again, you will get, for the month of April, it is correct, whatever the tax you are getting. Let us say if you go to June, again you will get the annual gross. So already 10,000, it was deducted, sorry, in the month of January. If you go to February, we have to reduce from the annual tax. So how we have to calculate it within the financial year? Let us say tax. We'll create a waste type which was or we can take from CRT table what is the tax deducted so far. So let us say if this is the calculation in the month of February, in the April you calculated a 10% here of his annual tax. So this is the thing. Let us say in the month of right, May, let us say annual gross change due to some increase in his basic salary or whatever it is. So let us say if you put some different amount over here, the annual tax in the month of April for the complete financial year will be this much, and in the month of Feb it was changed to this much. So now what you will deduct for that particular month from the employee's salary. So what you will do, you will uh, you will take the tax deducted so far. First you have to reduce this is the tax. So what employee already paid. So already employee paid. Here also I didn't get percentage. Right. So employee already paid 12,000. So it should be reduced from his annual tax in the month of February. Let us say it is Jan, it is February. So then in the particular month, this is the annual tax to be adjusted from February to December, right? So then how you with which number you have to divide this? You have a projection factor thing what we calculated in the previous one, right? 0 PRJ, we created a way step to calculate the projection one. You will get the projected months. Let us say April, January, February was gone. So how many months will left in the particular month? 10. In the projection, you will get 10. So 10 plus 1, if you do, you will get 11. So this amount should be equally distributed in the remaining months, including this month. So that is why I am telling 10 plus 1. So if you divide this, this will be the tax we are deducting for the employee salary. So likewise, it will go on up to December, and finally we will achieve what exactly he got the gross by the end of the financial year. Accordingly, we will adjust the things. Right?
Krishna,
So
you're talking getting
this will,
lesser, Krishna.
pardon?
In the month of January, he was paying 12,000 or 12 rupees, but in the month of
Obviously,
February,
right? See,
yeah,
gross
he's
was
paying.
increased.
Okay.
See, this should be the annual gross. In this, what we are considering what he got in the January also, right? This is the annual
Yes.
gross. This is not the monthly gross. So
Okay.
for the complete financial year, including projection. So this is his. Then in the month of February, this is the taxable one. So what already
Yeah.
employee paid is this much. So we
Minus
reduced
12.
that. So yes. So this should be recovered from the remaining months, whatever there. So
Okay.
we have 11 months left, including February. So we are dividing it accordingly, and we are getting this much. So, and
Okay.
moreover, whenever we are working with payroll and all this stuff, if it is annual, we should know all the functionality, how the calculation should be. Then only if you create a function to, tell the ABAPer to build up the logic, or if you are going to write the PCRs, then only you can able to write the PCR. So first we have to understand the uh, calculation part. See, this is my calculation part generally what I am telling. So the calculation can be differed, but it should be accurate, whatever we are doing. So this is the way I am going to calculate the, you know, uh, tax every month. So the same thing we are going to work. So still we are not in the part of exemptions. That we will take care in the next session. So as of now, we'll work up to here, and we'll see if we have time. We'll discuss about exemptions. So I think up to here we have a idea, right? What we are going to do. So here we have projection as input. What we have taken projection month. So if you write a PCR projection plus 1, you will achieve the remaining months, whatever you are calculating this. And what should you require is a annual tax wage step. It's not a monthly tax. It should be annual tax wage step. So I think we have a tax wage step we already created. This is the, say, this can be the monthly income tax, and we'll do copy of this, right? I'm taking one TX. So OTX is monthly, and one TX will be the annual. So I am copying this. So before writing the PCR, we are creating the things what we require. And if you go to the schema, tax international. So this is the thing which we are building up with our logic. So let us say this we created up to now, and this, let us say we are calculating for the monthly one. We will comment this and we'll create a so I am telling this will be for monthly tax calculation. So what we will do is we will copy the same thing and we'll do it as 2. Right. So annual tax calculation, and we still have to create the second PCR. So the same logic almost. So P02. So I just copy it. You can change the text going to attributes. If you go to the source, now we have to uh, catch up. So amount what we are taking the month gross. right? And we are checking with the slabs, and it is creating all this stuff. So here what we have to do for the amount, we have to take as the annual gross, which we calculated, right? Is the same way step. Okay. So then we are taking this amount as the taxable one, and it is checking the same functionality. If you remember, slab one, it is checking if it is equal to or less than, we are multiplying with the tax slab one, which consists of tax amount of 0, that percentage amount we maintain in 511P. Okay, if it is greater than, again we are going to 2, and we are pulling the tax percentage from 511P again, which will be 10%. So even if it is still greater than this, so it is pulling from 511P the 20% which we maintain, and it is adding to the waste step which we have to change. So what we are telling, it should add to annual tax waste step instead of monthly tax waste step. Right. So what it will generate is this PCR. Now it should generate the annual tax amount instead of monthly one. So this PCR already we inserted in the schema. So let us see what it was giving the output for us. Right. So here if you see the process, whatever the rule we have written, it is going to third slab, whatever the amount we got. So is it more than the amount we specified? So I think it is a, it is a not a lack. So we will maintain the thing to go to the second slab. It is not a lack, actually we should maintain. Should go to. So I'm trying to, get the middle one if it is changing or not. The slab 2. Still it is. Okay. So that is the reason it is taking. So now if you see, it should take the slab 2 basing on the amount. So if it is compared with slab 2, then it is going to star instead of greater than slab 2. So then it is multiplying with the slab 2 one. So whatever the amount you will get in 1 TX, that is the new waste type. I think we are adding it to RT table. If you see, we specified E over here. So these thing we are adding to RT table, and that also we have to change because still this this is not the monthly tax to push to RT table. So still we should do some more calculations before it go to results. Finally, we have to calculate the monthly tax. That only we have to push to the RT table. So in the PCR, what we have to do, the same instead of E, you have to mention I over here. So I will go to the input table again, right? So I'm changing this the same in the all three slabs. I am doing the same thing. Right, so everything I change it to I to store it in IT table in the annual tax PCR. In the monthly tax PCR, because that is the actual tax, so we are pushing to RT directly, stating that that is the final tax for the employee. So if you see the one now, our 1 TAX waste step should be there with the 10% of whatever the gross income is there. So this should be deducted, right? 1,20,000 should be deducted as tax for the entire financial year from Jan to December. So now basing on this, you have to calculate the monthly tax. So definitely we have to write a rule for that. Right, I am copying this. So now in this rule, what we have first, so I'm deleting all this stuff, right? So this will be a fresh PCR. So what to do? The same calculation what we discussed in the Excel. So we got annual tax as of now as input in 1 TAX waste step, that is in IT table. So you have to multiply. Already the multiplication, okay, this 10 was happened. So you got this 1,20,000 over here. So to get the monthly tax, what we have done, so we have to first subtract. Let us say so we are taking amount is equal to space, two spaces, and then giving the waste type 1 TX. So you got the amount from the IT table, whatever it consists. So what I am going to subtract here is amount minus So the final tax wage type will be stored in CRT table, means up to now YTD amount, whatever the tax deducted from the for the particular employee with TAX. So as of now, it is month of January, so it will be 0. If you go to further months, so the tax deducted up to now will come here. So whatever the tax deducted, we are reducing from the tax. Then what we have to do, we have to take the projection one. Rate is equal to, I think projection is also stored in IT table, right? Before in this, right, 0 PRJ with 11 it's stored. So what we have to do, we have to add a 1 to this, right? So it is IT, so I am not giving any values over there. So amount we have, rate we have. So what we have to do, whatever the amount we have to divide with this. Okay, rate plus 1. So even if it is December, so in December we have projection of 0. So then what it will do, rate plus 1, 0 plus 1 will be 1. Even if you divide whatever the tax left, it will be the same tax. So it will work on the end of the month also, whatever logic we are writing. So we have DI VID divide function like multi we used, the same thing we are using DI VID. So what should we divide? Amount with rate, and we should get a output of amount, right? And whatever the amount you got, that will be the monthly tax for the employee for that particular month. So we have to add to say RT table with the month tax wage type 0 TAX. So whenever it was added to RT and when we run the payroll in the next month, this amount what we are adding, this will go to the CRT dynamically, right? That is the cumulative RT. Right, so I will giving a print function so that we can see the RT over here. Right, so this rule will insert after the PCR what we have written in the sub schema. Six TX and we'll see how it is working for the month of January. Right, so this is the new thing. We have the process. Let us see what our PCR read. So here itself you will get the value because we have given the print table header over here, right? So if you take the amount, the tax amount it came, whatever the logic we are doing, and if you see the rate what we have done, the projection factor is 11 and we are doing a rate plus 1, so 12 we got. So whatever the amount stored in ITX is divided with 12, okay, and we are getting the output, right? So we'll check the same thing. So what here within the Excel what we have done, let us say the cumulative amount we will store Okay, as I said, this minus this. So in February will change his gross amount, and we will see what will be the output. So actually this is the annual gross which we already taken over here. So in month of February we will change his basic salary, and we will see what should be the tax first and what system was calculating. I think I already changed for this. So if you see the month of February, so this 1 lakh 100 what is there, I change it to say 2 lakhs. So if you see the Excel calculation before, what should be the actual value for the month, if we are checking with the previous calculations what we done. Actually I am doing uh, a straight calculation. This into 12 is the gross what we got over here, right? So this what we should do. If you remember, we should have again a 3 calculations to get this gross. First thing is what he received in the previous months, and the second thing is what he received in the current month, and the third is what he received into the months left in the financial year. So these months will be for February. The months will be 10, right? So he should get this much of so if you sum all these three, this should be his gross, right? So if you put the same thing over here, the value. So what we have written, H2, right? I think 2 lakhs, it will go to a different percentage, right? It will go to the 30 percentage. Sorry, 20 percentage. So we'll change this amount into 20 percentage, because we maintained something less than this amount. So your tax amount in the month of February will be this much, and we are subtracting what tax we deducted already. I think this is the same value we are getting in the if we are getting in the RT 120120, right? So this is the tax we already deducted from the employee. Sorry, we have taken we should take the actual tax which we are deducting, that is 0TX. So it will be stored in the RT table. So this will be the actual income tax for the employee for the particular month. So this value should be here. So if that is the value, you should get, whatever the tax amount came in the month of February, that should be subtracted with already what he paid as of now. So then it should divide with projection factor plus 1, that is 11. So 40,000 of tax will be deducted in the month of February, right? So we'll see the same calculation will happen for the month of February or not. If you are correct in
Krishna,
both
small doubt, Krishna.
Excel and payroll, yes.
In the Excel, we are dividing by 10 here. The For the February, it should be divided by 11, na? In the January, we are dividing by 12. Okay, we have divided by 11. Okay, fine.
11 only.
Yeah, yeah.
So there we are getting the projection factor plus 1 we are doing to get this 11, to achieve this 11 within the PCR. Let us see what I'm doing a live run over here. Right. So obviously you should be storing all CRT tables and everything. No need to release also. We'll see running for the second period now. So basic and how we increase this. So we'll check the schema what it was doing in the second period. So projection factor first, the rule which we have written, it was decreased, it is telling us 10. So it is working fine. So the rule here we are going to capture the monthly gross to our custom waste type. So if you see the annual gross, so the monthly gross is 2 lakhs which we maintained in info type 8. Because we maintained only one waste type, we are getting that. So if not, you will get the clubbed ones. So the same amount we are passing it to the one TAT, TA1, that is monthly gross again. So then we have written a annual gross which will calculate this much. I think if you go to the Excel, I think it was almost matching, right? So then if you are calculating the tax first, right, that is the annual tax for the month of February. See, I think 1 TX should be the annual tax, right? So we got the annual tax. Srikanth, any questions? Okay. So we got the annual tax over here. So basing on that, we have written the logic, the new PCR what we have written. So what it will do, then it will check the CRT table. So in the CRT table, it will store the cumulative tax what he got, and we are getting the final output of 40,000 dispatch. So let us say if somebody changed the master and it went to retro and it will do the things also, I think this the same thing will adjust, right? If you run for any of the month. So only I think we didn't still map these things to payslip part, and we have to see some of the characteristics, whatever the waste steps we copied are correct or not to get the exact output.
Krishna, small
Yes,
doubt,
Schemas.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Here, once we are getting the projection factor as 10,
Mm.
but when we are dividing it with 11,
Mm.
usually the next
See what is
are we
the mm. See there
will
are two
please
things,
go to the
Srinivas. One is projection factor is
okay,
the months left in the financial year,
yes,
right? And here we are dividing to calculate how many months left including this year.
okay.
See, let us say if
Here,
somebody want to deduct a, say 12,000 rupees from you, okay.
okay,
So how you will distribute? Before the financial year, you have to collect the, 12,000 from you. If that is the target, so how many months are there still, including this month, we will calculate and we will divide it in the equal, you can say the, parts and we'll recover from the
uh,
employee instead of recovering in bulk.
when we are multiplying the things, we are multiplying with 10 now. For that, why 10 we have taken? That's the thing, my question. In the Excel,
See, that is what here the calculation I done, right? 2 lakhs, if you have, what we are taking, see, you have to work accordingly what inputs you have,
okay,
right? So first input you have the cumulative value what employee received up to now,
yes,
right? So here I have taken directly the D11 value. This is the first one
okay,
would have. That
okay,
is the past values in the current
okay,
financial year. He received already this much of amount. Current
okay,
month what you received, it will be stored in RT,
okay,
okay, and projection number will store in a different waste type. That you have to calculate. System is not calculating, you are doing that.
okay,
So
okay,
current month you got, so past month you got, so how many months left still?
okay,
10.
10, okay,
What current month he got? 2
okay,
lakhs. So this
okay,
2 lakhs into the future months I got. The future he is, we are assuming that he will get this. That is the projection. So all
okay,
three things if you club, you will get the annual gross for the on that particular month if you calculate the gross. It can be changed at any point of time. That is why we are following this logic.
okay, okay, Krishna, got it. Thank you.
And here it is a different concept again. Whatever the tax in how many intervals we have to distribute, that is why we are adding a one.
Yeah,
Okay. So any questions on this? So generally also if we see any functions given by SAP or these things, they will follow the logic what we done in the Excel. The logic means they can write a ABAP code again in the same way. So if we think that the PCRs will do all the requirements what really client required, you analyze the requirement. If there are some, things which cannot be done through the PCRs, okay, which involve some Z tables or which involve some Z info types or which involve, a big logic. So definitely we should not go for PCR. We should go for a ABAP function to do all that stuff, right? So it depends on the how requirement you have taken from the client and how you understood and how good you are in writing PCRs. So I don't think I have to continue with the exemptions, exemptions or tax rebate. You can term it in a anyway what you require. So that is a separate concept. It will take another complete day, 1.5 hour or 1 hour that we will take on Monday.
Krishna,
If any
just want
questions,
to
please let me
understand.
know. Yes,
Yeah,
Shweta.
yeah. Just want to understand this posting will be done. Whatever the tax we are generating tax which types, is it done in a normal way? Like with
Posting, it's no way included here, right?
no, no. Just for my knowledge, I'm asking you. Posting to accounting, see, because uh, I'm a bit confused with the requirement where the client was telling cumulative they will take for every month and then they reverse previous months.
No, no, I am not getting you. You are going to posting and what is the link to posting and this one directly? Is there any link to the rules and wage steps you are generating? You generated, the posting will go to RT, right? So if
Posting
you
to
post
accounting
now,
and
then
financial postings.
that's what I'm telling. See, you created a wage step. Accordingly, you will maintain the, symbolic account and the GL. So you run
Okay.
the posting for, let us say, January. It was done. Then in the retro, you will run again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the retro time, you won't post the particular wage step single area. You will post /551.
Okay.
If you remember the retro part,
Yes,
we
yes.
are not
Yes, I
taking
know.
what is the area in a with a single wage step. It is the standard functionality, whatever the area, it can be any of the area. The total area amount, how much it is there, it will manage it with /551 and 552. So at the time of posting, if there is a retro or if something is there, you have to map it with /551 and 552. So that will take
Okay.
care.
Okay.
So here there is no link between posting and whatever the process we are discussing. Siddharth,
Yes, yes, yes.
what happened to that?
Yeah.
Comfortable not
Today I've done so much
with the
work.
class?
No, no. Today I had so much work. Like, I have done some budget changes and all. So many client meetings
Okay,
after
okay.
coming here with this class. Full bouncer for me.
See, for me also the same thing. From morning 7 o'clock, I'm doing a lot of things.
Yeah,
So
okay.
luckily we didn't get many errors today and less deviations. So maybe
Yeah,
we completed today's session quickly rather than compared to yesterday's one. Yesterday
yeah.
we have almost 2 hour
No,
session. Even I got, so I will try to complete whatever the session within 1.5 hours. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
yesterday, if we stop in middle, now really you can't continue. Again, if I start in the next session also, I have to start from first again. So
Yes, yes,
there won't be any use. The topic is like that.
yeah,
Okay, then we'll catch up the exemptions. So this is even exemptions. I will give you a general overview so that we can think. See here. So whatever the functionality we have written to calculate the tax will be the remain same for calculations. Now what we have here is annual gross we have. So now what we will do is we will take annual taxable gross. So to give a overview, right? Annual gross can be anything, whatever employee got. So now let us say there is, if you see the pay slips, I already prepared with some few of the deductions for the employee. Let us say these are some contributions employee is giving from his salary to different, things. So where there is a, in that particular country, if there are some rebate should get for that particular amount and all this stuff, these things will reduce from his annual gross, then we'll get the taxable gross. So for taxable gross, we'll calculate all this stuff. Okay, telling it is, directly is a simple one, but how we are capturing what are the waste types to what contribution, instead of writing, inserting each PCR, each waste type uh, in the PCR, we'll create processing classes. So in the processing classes, we will mention this is particular kind of contribution. So there can be a number of waste types to a particular contribution. So we'll get to know how what is the importance of processing classes and their specifications and how they will act instead of hard coding the waste types in the PCR. So that will be the topic. So it will happen within 1.5 hour max to max. So this we will discuss on Monday, and then we'll go for the how to create a function and all this stuff. As I said, I will tell you the process. I can't explain you the complete ABAP code, how we have to write and all this stuff, because I am not a ABAPer actually. So, but I will show you the process, what they will do and what you have to tell to ABAPer. So it will take an hour for us. So maybe Tuesday, I think it will be the last, class for us. If we go without any, breaks from my side. So definitely we don't. So before that, you prepare if you have any queries or such kind of things, so that we can extend 1 or 2 classes again if you require something else. Right. So that's all for the day. We'll meet again at on Monday, 8:30 p.m. Thank you.